You better act right. Hey, look. Now, if you'd act right, you wouldn't have had to come over there. Don't play with me in this courtroom. You hear me? Tom, take him out the back. Take him out the back. Take him out the back now.
We ain't scared of nobody, dude.
Oh, you not?
No.
To another edition of Nakia's Key to the Stars. I'm your host, Nakia Key, and today we're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to actually shed some spotlight on some Cleveland artists. We have a few, actually a lot of gems here that I feel like we don't really get to see a lot on my show especially, so I wanted to give back to people today. And sitting on my couch is an independent R&B artist, Dre Walton. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So we have so much to talk about. I definitely do want to talk about your new single that just came out. But before we do, I want to get into the clip that our viewers just saw a few minutes ago with, getting into that. So for those who don't know, Dre was actually on a popular court show called Judge Hatchet. And me basically looking at him now, he does not look like the same person that was back then. You definitely have matured and evolved.
Man,
so
that was so long ago. Man.
Tell us more about that. How did that even happen?
Man, young Dre Walton, that's what I like to call him. You know, when I was 14, me and my family, we moved back to Cleveland. I was living in Milwaukee for like 10 years. I was born in Cleveland. So we left when I was around like 2 or 3 to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So in Milwaukee, I was, you know, straight A's and B's. I went to a good school. You know, I was one of the kids who actually they was talking about skipping grades and all that. You know, my mom and my parents kept me so much in the school, and it's like, we moved back to Cleveland. My grandmother had to start to get older and ill, and my mom wanted to be closer to family. So we moved back to Cleveland when I was 14. And I was introduced to a whole different lifestyle. So it's like my teenage years from like 14 to 16 were really like very insightful. Like I experienced so much so fast. Like,
I see that, especially with watching the clip now. When I look back, that was like, what, almost 15 years ago or so? When I watched it, I actually remember seeing you on TV. So actually having you be here is so surreal. So
everybody said that, and you'll say how that happened is I really was like in the show. I was getting kicked out of school and everything. So one day I came home and I was going to Shaker Heights, and I came home from school, and my mom stopped me at the door. She was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I emailed the show, and the show, you know what I'm saying, picked your story up. So you know what I'm saying." I'm like, "Okay." She like, "So I need you to," I was like, "Okay." So, you know, a little bit but it was me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
what is your relationship now with your mother?
I love my mom. I love my mother. Like, even with that show, that wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that's my,
right.
You know what I'm saying? If anything, for my first line of advice is my mother. Like, I still put my mother on my emergency contact.
Right.
I'm 31, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like, that's my dog. Like, I love my mother to death, man. I'll do anything for my mother. I'll do anything for my mom.
Great. Well, now let's talk about the new adult, mature Dre Walton that we know as the singer. How did you even get into singing? How did you know that this was for you and your passion?
It was just something that I always gravitated towards. And I noticed that when I was sad, when I was happy, when I was, you know, in the middle of both of those, like, I always gravitated towards music. Music is always something that can uplift me. My voice, like, I make myself happy singing, but I also let out more emotion singing. Like, it's times I've sang to myself, or not really sang to myself, but like, you know, just walked around my house singing when I was real upset, real emotional.
Right.
I've cried, you know what I'm saying, in my darkest times, singing. You know what I'm saying? It's always something that brought me out of whatever I was going through, and it's always something that at the good times it's there, and at the bad times it's there. You know, I know music is something that would never leave me, and I say that about my love life and about women I've dealt with. Like, music has never left. It's always been there. So it's like, how could I turn my back on it?
Right, and I understand that. And speaking on you moving forward now with this new single, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
11/16, November 16th, coming up in a couple days. It was inspired by an ex of mine.
Okay.
We was together 4.5
We want to
years.
hear the juice. Tell us the
we was
details. Bring
together.
out more.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out. You know, I'm very open these days because
Okay.
it's therapeutic for me. So, it was the date that me and my most previous ex had got together. We was together for 4.5 years, and you know, I wasn't the perfect man. She wasn't the perfect woman. You know what I'm saying? But it was like you'd be so into your groove, and so many things were happening great for me in my career that I was so focused, and it's like I got my home front. I'm a run. I know I can always come back home. But home was not, my foundation was starting to crack.
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? So, it had, situation came up, February of this year, earlier this year, we had went to Miami for my birthday. And everything was good. You know, everything was good. We were celebrating some things for her. You know what I'm saying, too. And it was just, I felt like, yeah, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? I got me some money. You know what I'm saying? You got you some money now.
Right.
So we went out to Miami, had a great time, man. We came back in like 3 weeks later. You know what I'm saying? I went to her crib and, you know, I ended up walking in and it was another dude sitting on the couch and she basically told me, Yeah, she basically told me that that's where her heart was. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it took so much. I mean, you know, as a man, like, we don't never express that kind of feelings. Like, it's easy to be like, man, you know, whatever. But 4.5 years with a person, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what's going on. If y'all steady around each other that much, y'all built some kind of foundation, some kind of love for each other. And it's like, damn.
So that's where you said the inspiration from your music comes from emotion, and a lot of people can relate to that, to emotion, because it comes straight from your heart. But as far as when you do you write your own music?
I write everything.
So you write everything. A lot of people, when they get ready, when they're writing their music, they like to have silence. Some people change their diet. You know, what do you do to get inspired to write?
I really like to just chill. I like to be in my environment. You know what I'm saying? I might light something up. You know what I'm saying? Might put me a little hen.
Okay.
I play older R&B music. Teddy Pendergrass, Tank, Tyrese, Temptations. I play a lot of just, you know, in rotation. I have a playlist of people that I listen to get inspired or re-inspired. You know what I'm saying? And it's like recently my newfound inspiration has just become life. You know what I'm saying? With 1116. 1116 blew up. And it's like, so, like, if you listen to the first lyrics, bae, I don't want the food if it ain't yours. Don't think my appetite would ever be the same. If you know this chick that I'm talking about in my personal life, she can throw down in the kitchen. Really, in real life. So it's like I wrote that song really from a standpoint like I'm giving it all out. I'm putting it all out there. I don't care about writing to inspire the club. I don't care about writing to inspire the radio. This is how I'm feeling right now. And she had blocked me when all this went down, y'all. She blocked me immediately, everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, like email, wasn't responding.
So that gave you a lot to just take that pen and paper.
So it's like
writing.
you not after 4.5 years, you don't want to hear what I gotta say. So if you listen to that song, and I've even told her this, you know, and since then, this is everything I had to say to you when you wouldn't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's really yours. It's your. She know what 11/16 is. November 16th is the first day we got together. And November 2014.
Let me ask you this, Dre. What is the relationship between you two now and no relationship?
It's not really. It's not really one.
No friendship. That's like over.
It's real complicated because it's still fresh. It happened this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot that's happened since then. You know what I'm saying? Like life has just came at both of us fast, and it's like, for me to be where I am in my career and you know, and still on a spiritual level, you know what I'm saying? When certain things happen, it's to knock you back into what you're supposed to be focused on and what needs to be going down. And it's like, okay, this happened for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I fought for that relationship and you denied me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So once I got over that and I got tired of being denied, I moved forward in my life. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do, keep it moving. And everything since then has been going up in the blessing business, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and you touched on Tank also. So I do want to get into that as somebody that you are influenced by.
Yeah.
In 2017, I think it was, you did the Savage
Tour.
Yeah, with him and Sammy. So talk about doing big things out here.
Listen.
For Cleveland. So that was at the House of Blues, right, when you guys performed.
Sold out House of Blues.
So, wait a minute, I'll get it right.
Yeah,
Sold out House of Blues.
Sold out, man.
Was that your very first time performing with someone that big on that big scale?
It wasn't my first time performing with somebody that big. I had performed before with Carl Thomas, you know. A lot of people don't know, when I was back in like 2007, 2008, I was overseas in Germany. I had a group called Decision, and we had a big name over there, so I was doing shows with like Lil Flip and Mario and Trill Hill, and back then
dropping the name. Just keep dropping the name.
It was hot back then, you know what I'm saying? And like Crime Mob, they would come over to Germany. I was in the military with my guy Smoke. Shout out to my guy Smoke. He's down in Florida doing his thing. Me and him were both in the military. He was a sergeant, I was a PFC, E3. He was an E5, E6. And we would do music outside of the military, and it just what happened, we had something that clicked that they loved over there. You can look the video up. We had 148,000 views. You know what I'm saying? We had a hot song over there and a hot name. So I've done, but to be with on the stage with somebody like Tank, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, the same vicinity as somebody like Tank, when you've molded your career after, you know what I'm saying? R&B. I really love R&B.
The dream came true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people don't even know, like before the tour even came about, I knew he was coming here. And my girl at the time, she said, "You going to the Tank show?" I'm like, "No." For what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Tank followed me on Twitter since 2011.
Okay.
And you know, I was one of them artists, like I would shoot him links and stuff, and I was like, "You ain't gonna listen to my music, bro. Like, you know, bump you know what I'm saying?" So how it even all molded and came together was crazy.
How did it happen?
He did he was doing every city he went to, he was doing a contest. Tag the hottest R&B artist. If you look at your hottest R&B artist in your city.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
How many cities? Do you know? That many?
It was a lot. He did two legs. Yeah, he did 2 legs.
Did it come down to like the top 3 contestants, or
it came down to who was tagged and who he liked.
And that was it. That was you. You had
man,
that was all you.
Let me tell you something though. When I recorded the video, first of all, like I told you, I wasn't even gonna go to the show. But then the contest came up, and I was like, you know, I feel like I'm gonna put this. I feel like.
Oh, what do we have here?
What up, baby?
Welcome to the show. Okay, and something amazing just happened, okay? So, a surprise here for Dre. We do have a legend that's sitting on the couch here at Nakia's Keys to the Stars. Eric Nolan Grant, thank you so much for being here. That surprise worked out great. We got you.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just wanted to get caught up as to why he is here. He actually was on a radio show. And at the time, the DJ asked him, who are some of the Cleveland artists that you listen to? Who do you like when you go out, or, you know, if you're in your car? And it happened to be Dre Walton. So I want to hear from you. Why do you feel like Dre is one of those top people on your list?
I think because by me being, you know, I'm more of an old school kind of guy. I mean, I try to digest the newer artists, but the newer artists to me today, they sing kind of mechanical to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm from the old school. Dre Walton is a throwback. You know what I'm saying? He has an old soul and a young body, but but the way that he approaches his music, I mean, the way that he approaches, even when I would see him live, his whole demeanor is just totally different from the average guys that's out here trying to do it. Most of the guys out here, and there's no knock against no one, but most of the guys out here is more about fashion,
right?
Riffs and runs, seeing who could do the most, who could be the most acrobatic. Whereas Dre, to me, have always given a heartfelt performance,
right?
Whether it be up tempos, whether it be ballads, it always comes out heartfelt. And just to watch him, it's like I'm watching Bobby Womack or somebody. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I first saw this gentleman. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this kid, something about him, and when he approaches the stage, it's just, it's just that it factor that I was talking about. And a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to sing 4 or 5 songs to get to the audience. Whereas when he approached the mic, it's just magic. And I really think that's because I really think he believes in the songs that he sings. I think he believes in the lyrics. I think he's in touch with whatever that song is about.
Right.
I think that he's in touch. At least that's what I get out of it. And I have a lot of favorite singers that I young guys that I'm crazy about. But when I was talking about the it factor, it's hard to have that.
Right.
Jackie Wilson had the it factor. We all know Michael Jackson had the it factor. Whereas people like the Wilson Pickett's and the Otis Reddings, they had to work for theirs. You know what I mean? They had to go out there and have a performance. Whereas Jackie Wilson, when he would come out, he don't have to even sing a note, and girls is losing. You know what I mean? Well, that's how I feel about Dre Walton.
Do you hear this? You have a legend that has your name in his mouth. This is how he feels about you. What's going through your mind right now?
Man, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? No, honestly, it's a blessing to come up studying the greats and know your history. Like, I know my history when it comes to R&B. That's why I take it so serious and I'm so passionate about it. People are like, so you just walk with it so mean. And I said, no, I'm just very passionate about everything that I love.
Right.
R&B music happens to be something that I love. So I've studied the Jays. I've studied Men at Large. I've studied the Rude Boys. I've studied the Ohio Players. I've studied Zapp and Rogers. Those are all people from Ohio. You feel what I'm saying? I've done my research before I even got into the game and decided to do this. So whenever I hear anybody in my city or beyond saying R&B, even some people that's on now, it's like, okay, I'm listening. Have something to say because I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming with a vengeance. It's not I don't have a chip on my shoulder. It's like I feel like I represent rhythm and blues. That's R&B. I represent the soul of it.
And that's what you relate to.
Yes, I love it.
I understand.
I love it. So to hear that coming from a legend, you know what I'm saying?
Such a blessing. Definitely a blessing.
It's up there.
Well, those accolades are not just given.
I agree
they're
with
pretty
that.
much earned. I remember the first time I saw Dre. I was coming out of a club and I said, hey, how you doing, man? I said, you Dre Walton? And he said, yes, sir. I said, my name is Eric Nolan. He said, I know who you are. He said, I know who you are. And I had never met this guy before.
Wow.
And so I started paying attention to him. And just, and if I can just speak,
Sure.
I just want to say, because I don't get a chance to talk to Dre. I'm on the road a lot, so I don't get a chance to really converse with him like this. But, there's a big difference in being sure of yourself. There's a big difference in knowing what you want. See, some people confuse that with conceit.
Right.
Some people confuse that with being arrogant. Some people confuse that with being cocky. But it's none of those things when you know what you want.
Right. That's
it's the people who don't digest it.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones who come up with those, those names and those titles when they can't digest it.
Right.
If you're passionate about something, you're passionate about your show, and you want your show a certain way. If people don't grasp it, then you become conceit,
right,
arrogant of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just meaning that you know what you want.
And this is coming from, I can't stress enough, this is coming from a legend, okay? So I just can't take it.
I love it. I love it, man. I love
We
it.
do it all the time. I think sometimes, and for the people out there that don't get it confused, great. But the people that's confused about Dre Walton, for a young man to know what he wants at a young age
and go after it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go after it. I think you should embrace that.
Absolutely.
I think you should embrace that and try to help him along and back him. It's not many. To me, Bone Thugs had the it factor. They got the it factor. Cleveland got such an edge.
Right.
And that when we hit the stage, you know we was there.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Dre on the show today, is to give back to people like you that I feel like should be getting more spotlight, more credit. And that's one of the reasons why you're the first Cleveland artist to be on my show.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, this is going to go down in the history books because I really think Dre has the potential of being the next one to come out of this city.
You heard it here first.
I think he has the potential to follow the footsteps of the Gerald Leverts.
Wow, that's huge.
Max.
That's huge.
You know, I just think that he's just a hit record away.
Thank you.
Once he get the record, because he has. When you see him hit the stage, he has that thing that people that can't really put their finger on.
Right.
He has that.
So for you, I know you're just getting off tour. Are you still on tour?
Yes,
or
ma'am.
you're still on tour?
I
Okay.
leave tomorrow morning.
Wow, and you made a stop here. So I just cannot say that, stress that enough. We really do appreciate you for making it.
Oh, God.
How has the tour been so far?
Excellent. I mean, you know, we the Jays, we sell out.
I heard that.
We sell out. You know what I'm saying? We had no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Us and the Isley Brothers, us and Manhattans, and we're getting ready to do something with Jeffrey Osborne and Four Tops. And
Nice.
I mean, it's a blessing because we're still able to sell out venues, and we're seeing 3 generations. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing, you know, people Eddie and Walt's age, my age, and their kids.
My age, I'm one of those
Yeah,
people.
right. You know, so we just sold out here in Cleveland. We sold out in Detroit, and that's not being braggadocious. It's just meaning that when you put together a good show and you sing from your heart, no matter what we do, we sing from our hearts. We give it 110% every time we hit the stage. Somebody, whoever's on the stage with us, got a problem. Whoever it is, they got a problem that night because we going out there to represent the city. That's what I get from Dre. No matter what he do, when he gets out there, he's going for the juggler.
Right.
That's a cool thing. You know what I mean? That's not a knock against nobody. It's a cool thing. But yeah, we're still on tour. We'll be on tour till January.
And then also, you guys just got inducted to the Philadelphia Hall of Fame.
Yes, ma'am. We got
congratulations. Congrats to that. Another milestone to add to the list.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Oh man, that was incredible because we up there. We up there with all the greats, from the Count Basies to the Bessie Smiths to the Teddy Pendergrasses. You name it. All of the Philadelphia greats. We finally got that. When you come down Broad Street, you see our plaque right there in the street, like the stars of Hollywood.
I have to go see that. Where is it at? Where is it
Broad
located? Okay, Broad Street.
Yep,
so if you guys want to go see it, you should go see there.
Yeah.
And then I also have another question for you while you're on the couch. I'm going to take advantage of this. You were in the movie Fighting Temptation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any funny stories that you can share with us that happened on set?
I ain't tell no funny stories. We shot dice a lot. I can say that Lil Zane, it was interesting to me that when they was teaching us the choreography. Well, that's what we do. We can do choreography. You know what I mean? But Lil Zane,
Listen to him. He can do choreography.
He has a hard time. He has a hard time stomping his feet, clapping his hands. You know what I'm saying? In rhythm, he can't do this. And I found that funny because he's a rapper. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. You know, they deal with beats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Lil Zane was just, he would laugh. Sometimes he just wouldn't do it. He just, look, I can't do that. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things. But the other stuff that happened on the set was tabloid type stuff. Stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that, it's incriminating.
I see. And you met Beyonce?
Oh yeah, we was with Beyonce.
She's like my favorite person. You got to come to the show, Beyonce. Shout out to you.
Beyonce. We it took us 3 months to do that movie. We was on the set for 3 months. We only had Sundays off. Beyonce, when she first came to the set, she had a bodyguard with her every single day for at least 5 days. After that, when she found out that everybody was just cool. And just family,
Down
no
to earth.
bodyguards, no nothing. She would just come in, blue jeans, kicking it. She kicked it with us. It was just like family. Everybody was like family. Cuba, everybody. There was no nothing. You know what I'm saying? There was no airs. No, we didn't even have that. You know what I'm saying? We all set the tone. The Jays set the tone of being cool. Montel Jordan was incredibly cool. So it just set the tone how everybody would be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was just like family. They need to do a two.
I agree with that.
But but it was just the coolest thing. It was the coolest thing. I didn't really realize the impact, or let me rephrase it. I didn't really realize what I was doing. All I knew was that I was in a movie to afterwards.
Yeah, after. I understand that.
I didn't even understand. I just knew that they paid me some money. I knew I was able to get a house built. Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But my point being is that I didn't understand what I was doing when I was in it. I don't think me or Eddie Owalt really understood the impact or what type of movie this was till we actually saw it, and it was done in good taste.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite parts when you go in the barbershop and get the singing and the scissors, and I'm just like, it's like one of my favorite parts of the movie. So yeah. And then also, do you have any new music coming out or any solo music?
Yeah, I got a single out now called "In My Life" #IML, and I'm releasing another single Valentine's Day called "Available," and that's another thing, and this is. I just want to say this, so I want to put it in the air so that Dre can grasp it.
Okay.
When I do my music, I use all Cleveland artists, all Cleveland musicians. I don't use no outside. I mean, my band with the OJs is from Philly, and part of them from New York, Las Vegas. I use none of them. I use everybody from Cleveland.
Wow.
Every single record I cut is from Cleveland. My producer, Jay Sean Champion, Cleveland, Ohio. If I use any background singers, they're Cleveland, Ohio. Brandon Landrum.
Shout out to me.
And why is that? And I know Brandon. Shout out to him too. Why is that?
Because I feel like Cleveland musicians can compete with anybody throughout the world.
Facts.
And I feel like
Nice.
Cleveland have a different type of. They have a different type of edge. They have a hunger edge. A la Dre Walton. He has a hungry edge. You know what I'm saying? And it's so pure. So when you hear this kid, you know, and as another kid, Blaze, is it Will Blaze? Will Blaze is Kevin Blaze is the taller guy, right? Will is the shorter guy, right?
Okay.
Will, he's the same way. I mean, these cats, they sing with such passion, such emotion. It's not, you know, that's why I use Cleveland musicians, because they all have an edge to them. And I will continue to do that till I leave this earth.
That's beautiful. Definitely well put. If you can give any advice to any of like the up and coming artists, or even to Dre, that, you know, are pushing for their dreams and they're ready to really get out here, what would it be?
All right, that's a two-part answer. If I was to say it to any of the artists out there, I would tell them to learn their history, to learn where this comes. You have to know the history. You have to kind of like know where it came from, so you can get to where you're going. So and try to do as much as you can to be as authentic, not different. Authentic and different is two different things.
Right.
Sometimes you can go far left, nobody gets it, nobody grasps it, because you just, you know what I'm saying, you're too different. Try to be authentic. Be honest with yourself. Now to Dre, if I had to tell Dre anything, I would tell Dre, continue to work at your craft, continue to be humble, but don't compromise yourself of what you want. It doesn't make you arrogant. Just don't compromise yourself. You have a sound, you have a quality that you want to maintain. Don't compromise that. Today's society is a lot different from when I came up. When I came up, if I was having a bad day, or if I felt a certain way, I could tell you.
Right.
I could tell him. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I could tell y'all.
Right. Behind the camera.
I could say.
Right.
what I feel. But in today's society, everything is so social. It's social media driven.
Absolutely.
That people take it out of context. So sometimes you can't be as transparent,
right,
on social media,
because when you are transparent, you're judged,
You're judged.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I would like for Dre to kind of like bottle things up for himself, deal with this. If he needs to talk to somebody, he can talk to me. He can talk to Brandon. He can talk to people that's close to him that will give him the real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is amazing.
Don't go here.
That you can just go to him and
Right.
ask questions.
Don't go to social media and expect to get a true assessment.
Right. So don't vent to
That's what I'm
social
saying,
media.
because
Right.
they all ain't gonna get it. They all not gonna get
Right.
Dre Walton, because
Right.
he's a different. This is a different animal right here. This is a different kind of cat right here. So, I'm not saying this because I'm right here with him. I'm not saying, look, when you asked me to do this, you didn't have a problem out of me, did you?
No, not at all.
I could have stayed at home. The Browns baby. Browns from Pittsburgh.
Yes, he is a Browns
I
fan.
could have stayed home. But I'll come out for this kid. I'll try to give him as much support.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of other people in Cleveland that I would support too. If they need my support, they got it.
Right.
But you were asking me why I felt like he had the it factor, and that's the reason why.
Right.
Because he pours his heart into it, you know. And I'm glad I was able to stop by for this gentleman.
Yeah,
because
me too.
I really think big things are going to happen for him.
I do too.
I just want him to stay steadfast and just keep his feet planted.
So let me ask you, Dre, do you feel like you have finally got to the point where you feel like, my dreams are coming true, I made it? Or do you feel like it's more in you that you still have yet to accomplish?
It's so much more. It's so much more I want to do. I want to have my own foundation for artists, for R&B artists. Because R&B is becoming a dying genre, and people are not realizing it. Like he said, everybody's mechanic now. You don't hear vocals, and because a person can run, they're the best singer in the world. No. What happened to the passion? You know what I'm saying? What happened to the dream behind it? So I eventually want to do that. I want to be the CEO behind helping people achieve their dreams. If it's R&B or neo soul or gospel, anything that has to do with using your vocals, I'm really
even gospel.
zeroing in on that.
Nice.
Because
okay.
there's great gospel singers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to do R&B. I grew up singing in the church. You know what I'm saying? I'm very in touch with who God is, and I know where my blessings come from. So I want to do so much more. I feel like it's not. I haven't got there yet.
Just touching the surface.
I'm just scratching it. I'm probably, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably even scratching it. I'm probably grabbing at it, but it's a lot more I got to do. It's a lot more I got to do. It's a lot more that I can't wait to do. The world is about to know who I am.
Okay.
And what I bring to the table.
You hear it here.
Yeah.
And last question for you, Dre. I did ask Mr. Nolan here, his advice and what he will give to viewers. But for you, because there are, I'm sure, a lot of young kids and even adults that look up to you, want to be like you or inspired by you.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to them?
Follow your dreams. Stay down, and that means just stick to your guns. You can overcome anything. Keep God first, of course. And believe in it. If it's something that you want to do, believe in it. Don't let nobody try to change your mind. Don't let things in life that happen daily get in the way of what you have in your vision. And just dream on. That's my thing. Dream on, man. Just make it happen every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any tours, or you going on tour again with anybody we need to know about that's coming up?
Listen, I got some things cooking for 2020, but I have something coming up in December.
Okay.
That I don't want to.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming, man. And I've been working on some things behind the scenes, and they're about to come to fruition. And I'm very excited, man. And it's a blessing to see a lot of things that's getting ready to just start happening, and everyone's going to get a chance to be a part of it.
Nice. And I'm glad that you chose to come here to the show as
too.
well, Mr. Eric. I have to address you as Mr. Eric Nolan Grant for being here as well. I really appreciate that. Any last words that you guys want to say before we end the show?
Thank you for coming.
Hey man,
I appreciate you for
you got me
coming.
for life, man.
Man, I appreciate you for coming.
You got me for life. I'm with you, man. When it was dropped.
Yeah.
You know
This
what
is
I'm
so
saying?
touching.
Thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
For sure.
Anytime.
Behind the
Come back
camera,
anytime.
everybody. Follow me. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, go ahead and if you want to give your plugs.
Dre
Twitter,
Walton on Instagram. Young Dre Walton on Twitter. Dre Walton on Facebook. Hashtag Ben Told Him. Hashtag Dream On. We out here, man. Shout out to the OJ. Shout out to everybody who came before me. I do this for y'all. I do it for the people.
And what's your next stop on the tour?
I'll be in San Diego tomorrow, yeah, San Diego, and then actually we're coming back down this way around Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We gotta go to Pittsburgh. Why we gotta go to Pittsburgh? We gotta go to Pittsburgh, and then we'll do Phoenix, LA, and Vegas. The West Coast run, and then we'll end up Chicago and some other stuff, man.
Yeah.
Other places. I listen.
Mm-hmm.
I know them places. It's lined up, but listen. Y'all can follow me. What's my Instagram? I am Eric Nolan.
Yep, I am Eric Nolan.
Eric Nolan on Facebook. My Twitter. I don't even know what my Twitter is. I think it's Eric.Nolan.Grant. Something. I don't even know.
Okay, it's okay.
But follow Dre Walton. I mean, I think for people in Cleveland, we have to learn how to, and I don't want to use a cliche and stick together. We have to learn how to embrace one another.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And support one another.
Yes.
Because this crab in the barrel mentality, we got to get rid of that. It's just not cool. It's just not cool no more. I mean, I don't know when it was cool, but it ain't cool. So when you see somebody trying to do something, what's wrong with supporting them? And if each one of y'all would just spend 99 cents or a buck and just download this gentleman's stuff. I mean, it's good music. It's not crappy music. It's not, it's not terrible. It's not any of that. It's really good. He calls it R&B. He calls it R&B because that's what he knows. Me, from where I come from, the way he sings, I call it soul music.
Yeah.
And that's because I feel like he sings from his soul, and I can tell it. I can tell he does. Look, support the homie. You know what I'm saying? This is a young man. He ain't out there gangbanging. He ain't out there cracking nobody in the head. He ain't out there stealing no wallets, and he's not doing anything. He's not, you know what I'm saying, selling nobody no drugs or nothing. He's doing music. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying,
thank you.
Support.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'll like his. I know you'll like his music because it's soul music to me with a touch of R&B.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Well,
right.
thank you so much, both of you, for being here on Nakia's Key to the Stars. We have more coming up. This will not be the last Cleveland artist that you will see sitting on the couch today, but we want to thank you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Hey, babe, you see this? What they put on the ground in there? What is you doing?
I'm leaving, Dre.
You leaving?
I can't do this anymore with you.
You can't do
I'm
this
done.
anymore.
I am
Come
done.
on, man. This is
No,
you.
you think it's
We
a
here
game?
again.
You think
I
it's a
don't
game?
think it's a game.
I'm out of here.
Man, come on.
Don't try to stop me. I'm out of here,
So,
Dre.
so you leaving? Oh, you gonna bounce like that?
Whatever.
Come on, man. Mo. Go, man. For real. So this is what we do. Oh, na, na, na. Bae, I don't want the food if it ain't yours. Don't think my appetite will ever be the same. Gave me so many memories, I need way.